And welcome back to Race Mountain Speedway. It's a great day here for racing. Here we are with round 1, heats 3 and 4 in the British Invasion Car Tournament. 42 of Britain's finest cars have assembled here to battle it out on the track. We've got McLarens, Austin Minis, Aston Martins, Lotus and Jaguar. Today's open track racing is brought to you by MagTrack, a new toy car racing system by 3D Botmaker. While the track crews are hard at work getting those cars ready to go, let's take a look at today's lineup. Up first in Heat 3, we have Sluggerman 93 driving that black and red McLaren P1. This car was shipped in all the way from Canada by 4114 Diecast Racing. Next to him in the Mr. Bean Austin Mini Cooper is Eric Quintero. This car was shipped in all the way from Florida at the Kelly Motor Speedway by Guitarded and Broke. Then we have Don Hill driving in the silver Aston Martin DB10. His car was sponsored by the Bayou City Diecast Raceplex. Driving in the orange color McLaren 720S, we have Yunos. Yunos will be driving for Hot Wheel Racer Mike. If anyone knows about Hot Wheel Racing, it's Mike. Starting off in the back row, we have 502 I'm Coming Through driving the black Lotus Esprit. This beauty was shipped all the way from across the pond by My Hot Wheels Collection. And last up in the red Aston Martin DBS is Communism is Real. He'll be the second driver in this heat driving for the Bayou City Diecast Raceplex. Also, just a reminder, each heat in round 1 will be a 4-lap race with the top 3 advancing on to round 2. The drivers are ready, the track officials are giving the all clear. Let's go racing! Sluggerman 93 leading him down the ramp. They're all bunched up around turn 1. Sluggerman pulls ahead, followed by Don Hill. Don Hill losing control back there, and Sluggerman wrecks across the finish line. He's gonna hold on to that first place spot, but hopefully he's okay and his car is alright. This MagTrack finish merger is sure providing a lot of entertainment for the crowds. Is it at the expense of the driver? Yes, but we're okay with that. 502 I'm Coming Through moves up from 5th place all the way into 3rd as they go into lap 2. Sluggerman in the lead, 502 spins out causing a traffic jam back there. Sluggerman 93 all by himself as 502 I'm Coming Through pulls up into 2nd place. And that's some impressive driving by 502 I'm Coming Through in that Lotus Esprit. He started this race off in 5th place and has worked his way up to 2nd place in only 2 laps. Don Hill falls back to 3rd place, and Eric Quintero in the Mr. Bean Austin Mini Cooper, starting this race off in 2nd place, has moved all the way back to 5th. Meanwhile, Communism is Real in the red Aston Martin DBS can't seem to catch a break out there on the track. 502 I'm Coming Through leading him down the ramp. He was side by side with Yunos around that turn. He's all over the place on the track. A lot of contact there going into turn 2. And 502 I'm Coming Through will be leading going into the 4th and final lap. And also take a look at that. Communism is Real actually moves from 6th all the way up to 3rd place. Meanwhile, Eric Quintero wrecks over there after turn 2. The Austin Minis have not been doing well so far in this tournament. This yellow Mr. Bean car is a Matchbox sponsored by Guitarded and Broke. And here's how they'll be lined up going into the 4th and final lap. 502 and Sluggerman will be leading them down the track. 502 I'm Coming Through pulling ahead with a slight lead there going into turn 1. Don Hill passing on the inside lane as he takes 2nd. Don Hill passes on the outside of 2. And Don Hill goes from 5th place all the way up to 1st in the 4th and final lap. Holy Aston Martin, that was amazing. The Bayou City Diecast Raceplex team is going nuts over that last run. And Eric Quintero is on his roof again. How fitting for a Mr. Bean car. Here's another look from the finish line cam. Sluggerman with a last-minute pass over 502. And 502 I'm Coming Through gets some assistance there at the end by Yunos in that McLaren 720S. Man, I'm telling you, that was some racing right there. Don Hill driving for the Bayou City Diecast Raceplex, Sluggerman 93 for 4114 Diecast Racing, and 502 I'm coming through, driving for my Hot Wheels collection, will be advancing on to round 2. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we've got round 1, heat 4 in the British Invasion Tournament here on the 3D Botmaker Diecast Racing League.
Oh yeah. .64 scale traffic codes available at 3dbotmaker.com. Can you dig it?
You're watching the 3D Botmaker Diecast Racing League, the home of diecast sports action racing.
Welcome back. The racing teams are getting their cars ready for round 1, heat 4. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup. Up first is Grabstein Magnusson, driving in the yellow and black Lotus Sport Elise. This car has traveled from the UK to the USA for my Hot Wheels collection. Next up in the black and gold Lotus Esprit S1 is Deranged Art. This 70s blast from the past is sponsored by Colorado Gresham Racing. In the second row we have Garage Mahal. He'll be driving in the Morris Mini Magnus Walker Urban Outlaw Edition. This car is sponsored by Team Acres Racing. Next to him will be A to Z Racer in the yellow Lotus Project M250. He'll be the second driver for my Hot Wheels collection in this heat. Going back to the third row, we have Pathfinder. He'll be driving in the Aston Martin 177. Pathfinder will be driving for Michael's Diecast Garage. And last up in this heat is the man, the myth, the legend, Hot Wheel Racer Mike, driving in the white McLaren P1. This car was sponsored by 4114 Diecast Racing. And here we go, the drivers are all lined up for the fourth heat in round 1 of the British Invasion Tournament. Magnusson leading them down the track as A to Z Racer gets sideways. A lot of contact coming out of turn 2, A to Z Racer pulling ahead, going in reverse. And A to Z Racer moves up from 4th place to 1st as we go into lap 2. He's followed by Deranged Art and Pathfinder. A to Z Racer with a rough start there at the beginning, but finds his way into 1st place. Magnusson, starting this race off in 1st, falls all the way back to 4th. Here we go with lap 2. Deranged Art and A to Z side by side. Deranged Art pulling ahead. He gets sideways on the turn and A to Z Racer passes him back as he holds on to his 1st place position going into the next lap. It's a demolition derby here down at the finish line. Grabstein Magnusson moves from 4th place up to 2nd, followed by Deranged Art. Keep in mind that the top 3 will move on to round 2 of this tournament. The 2 yellow Lotus are side by side as we go into lap 3. A to Z Racer and Magnusson side by side around the turn, and Magnusson wrecks, leaving A to Z Racer all by himself. Wow, that car is smooth on the track. And look at this, Hot Wheel Racer Mike makes a move there at the end to pull into 2nd place going into the last lap. We haven't seen anything from him in this entire race, but now he's actually positioned himself to take one of those top 3 spots. And there's another Mini stuck on the turn. A big disappointment right here though for Grabstein Magnusson. He was in the 2nd place spot, but that wreck right there is going to send him all the way back to 6th. And believe me, you don't want to be starting the 4th and final lap in 6th place. Here's how they'll be lined up going into the last lap. So far this race has been completely dominated by A to Z Racer and that Lotus Project M250. Deranged Art drafting off the back of A to Z Racer. He comes flying out of that turn and loses control. We've got a 4-car pileup on turn 2. A to Z Racer still in the lead, followed by Deranged Art and Hot Wheel Racer Mike. Wow! Hot Wheel Racer Mike starting this race off all the way back in 6th place. He found a break on lap 3 and made it into the top 3. Deranged Art starting off in 2nd and also finishing in 2nd, but the MVP of this race has to go to A to Z Racer. Total domination on the track here today. Let's take another look at that last lap. He comes flying out of that turn, loses control. You can see him trying to recover, and here comes Deranged Art slamming into his front end. And look at this move right here. A to Z Racer correcting it as he heads down the track to take the win. I'm gonna say it now, I think A to Z Racer might be the driver to watch out for in this tournament. That Yellow Lotus Project M250 is fast. And here are the drivers that will be advancing on to round 2. Don Hill, Sluggerman 93, and 502 I'm Coming Through, A to Z Racer, Deranged Art, and Hot Wheel Racer Mike. What an amazing day of racing here at Race Mountain Speedway. If you like what you've seen, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed and notified. You've been watching the 3D Botmaker Diecast Racing League, the home of diecast sports action racing.